Panthers threatening.
And Guertin with the lead.
It's Titans point.
No, hey, what a great crossing pattern. I tell you, finding himself all alone up the seam was Ryan Conley.
Shot and a goal. And the Titans are on the board.
Reckler. Oh, I tell you, she's a beast.
Up and running, and look at that.
Bang.
He's in there.
Shot score! You can see it all setting up.
Sure could.
North sets it up, and a kill, a winner.
And here comes the Donna, all lined up. It's nothing but goal there, right there.
Oh, my goodness.
You'll watch it back on Nashua ETV.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Stellos Stadium in Nashua, scene of today's lacrosse doubleheader. Bishop Guertin taking on a couple of high-powered out-of-town opponents in Boston College High School and Moses Brown. I'm John Collins along with Tom King. And Tom, we got the A-team here. We got Rich McDonough with us. There must be no college or professional lacrosse going on today for him to do.
The crazy goalie.
Yes.
Well, certifiable, we all are.
Oh, yeah, I talked about that during the Riv game last Saturday.
Rich, you're fresh off that big Rivier win yesterday. We were watching the monitor while we were doing the Nashua games.
That was my first NCAA tournament game.
Kidding.
It was really fun. Had a
Okay.
blast.
Yeah, so it was a 2010 win for Riv. We also got to do the Riv GNAC Championship, which they won over LaSalle. We did the Nashua lacrosse yesterday. It's lacrosse galore, Tom.
Lacrosse week is what
Yes.
it is. Yeah, I think I'll take a break from the sport after this week and try my hand at the Diamond Games next week, but we'll see.
Well, what do we got today?
Well, this is a special day, I think, for our area. Tom, you and I got to do the BC High game a couple years ago.
On a Sunday afternoon.
And it was beautiful.
It was an absolute treat. It was the best lacrosse game, high school lacrosse game I've seen, I think, in since. And it was fabulous. The competition is great. And, John, we're going to see a little bit different competition than what we saw yesterday when we did the Nashua games, because it was so uneven in the Nashua games.
It was. South took them both.
This is going to be a different story. This is going to be much even. Every possession is going to count. Every strategy piece is going to count. Every shot is going to count. And these games count in the standings, too. So these aren't exhibition games. They're out-of-state games, and they count. So let's enjoy this one.
We're also going to see top-shelf coaching. Excuse me. I've new face, sort of, in Brian Cameron taking the helm for his father with Bishop Guertin. Marcus Craigwell for BC High, just one of the real good leaders in all of high school coaching, and he's got his boys teed up today.
Terrific. We have our opening draw at midfield. BC High controls it. Gavin Barth, the senior attacker, coming in with it, and he's going to dish it off into the corner. Rich, the goaltenders today, you did some background on them.
Absolutely. You got Emsing in the cage for BC High. He comes from serious lacrosse DNA family with his brothers on the team, and I just covered his older brother at Tufts, and he's a junior. He's tall. He's 6'3", and he's excellent. Taking the helm at BG and wearing number 19, who Will Murphy ran, is Jonah Feliciano. I watched him last week.
I saw Feliciano.
He's got some chops.
Against Bedford last week. He had a tough start to that game in the first quarter, and then in the second, and then he just picked it right up, and he made some really big saves in the second half.
Yeah, you just got to get a few, and then you get into rhythm. Holy,
right.
Behind the back right there, huh?
No, this is big time stuff.
And we're going to see a D battle, big face-off battle is Paolo Vasquez for BG, and then the sophomore, and really doing a good job, Jackson Ketchin has stepped in for Marcus Craigwell, and he is an animal at the dot. So that should be fun to watch, John.
Tyler McLeod with the long stick takeaway to get it into the offensive zone, and now BG sets up for what they hope will be their first goal-scoring opportunity.
Well, he did a good job to keep BC High off the board on that one possession, and that's key.
There's almost a blinding sun out there as they fight for the loose ball on the ground. BC High comes away with it with a fast sprint right downfield. They might try for the fast break goal. There's a save by Feliciano.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was back of the net, but
So
real
did
good
I.
job squaring up, getting his hip on the pipe. Terrific.
Yeah, I think it hit him down low and ricocheted over the net.
I'm going to look goalie to goalie. I'm going to give him a save.
Luke Allen, the senior for BC High, sprinted out from behind the cage. We have a slip by Joe Leach. He passes it off. The shot goal by number 15, David Leahy, puts BC High on the board first.
Well, I'll tell you what, it is hard to follow the action because these guys are so quick.
This is Stanley Cup hockey stuff.
We're watching a different level.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, the passing is going to move at 75 miles an hour.
Exactly.
Shooters, 90 to 100. They all got this thing locked and loaded.
Absolutely.
But here comes a repeat. Let's watch this face-off battle. Real important. Paolo Vasquez for BG is headed for big-time D1
Yeah, he is.
Maryland, Baltimore County.
Nationally renowned face-off guy.
Let's see if he is able to. Well, BG wins that one.
Yeah, he's terrific. But that's a
But
great
knocking
trail
it
check.
through, that's a trick that he probably learned as far as to up his percentage right there. That's Gavin Barth for BC High that was able to recover.
But he didn't give up on the play, which
Right.
is what you guys want to do. Young kids, if you're watching,
Is that a term, or did you just make up trail check?
trail check. It's
Trail
ancient
check.
history, man, just like
All right.
myself.
Yeah, see, that's
He's got
the
a different
lingo. Rick's
he's got
got
a
the
different
lingo.
language when it comes to this sport.
I love it. There's a shot from a tough angle, and it nearly beat Feliciano, but Nick Emsing, a captain, showing he's not afraid to let it fly from anywhere.
And he's bound for the NESCAC like his brother. He's going to play at Trinity. And again, like a few of these guys, Player of the Year candidates in Massachusetts.
Well, he hit the deck there and gave it up.
Turf
BG
monster.
trying to scoop it up. It took a while, but they got it. And trying to split about 5 BC attackers, able to get it to midfield. Again, another good job
What?
by
Picked
Tyler
almost a
McLeod.
good knockdown there, but and a big after. That's a late hit. I'm surprised they didn't call it. You got Sean Murphy, Kerry Witten, and Travis Glennon reffing today. Experience. They've reffed a bunch of games that I've coached.
We will see a bit more physical, John, than we did yesterday
We
as well.
already have. Jeremy Warren, the senior captain, took a hit there. He's slow to get up.
And this big fella, number 10, Shivda, is Villanova bound for BC High. He is a beast.
He's going to be a villain in this one, the way he
Anybody,
started out.
anybody with BG that touches the ball is getting nailed.
Yeah.
Okay, they're getting
Seems to
nailed.
be a rule for Bishop Boston College.
Well, I mean, it's a whole. That's how you play the game.
That's how you play it.
Well,
know?
both teams played St. John's Prep Danvers, and both teams lost during the season, but that's one of the most physical teams in the Northeast. So if they're going to match that level, we are going to see a brawl
How did
today.
BG do? We never got a report. How did they? Or I don't even know if they
Yeah,
played.
it was 12-5.
Against Staples. How
Oh,
they do
Staples.
against Staples?
They lost by 5.
Okay.
Staples now the number 2 public school team in the country. Good save by Feliciano right there.
Yeah, it's,
He needed
going
that.
low with it was 35 for BCI. Nick Emsing, he likes to shoot from that right side.
Yeah, he's a strong lefty.
So BG would like to get one of these out-of-state wins,
games, right?
Because
They got a
it's
few
going
more coming, too.
It's going to affect the standings, right? They're going to look worse than they really are. They're going to have a lower seed than they really
Well,
should.
they never get the top seed with all
No,
these out-of-states,
because
and that's
No,
all right.
Right, exactly. And some other schools are doing the same thing, but not as many.
It helps you get better.
It definitely does. That's why they do it.
Yep.
St. John's Prep.
We saw that with
right?
girls basketball over the years at BG, and they still do it.
Around the edges, Michael Ponto got checked in. It was stolen by BC High. They're downfield in an eye blink. Here's number 35, Emsing.
Oh,
and
wow.
a save made.
That wasn't
by
a perfect
Feliciano.
shot. He should have changed planes right there. Jonah didn't even have to move.
So a positional save by Jonah Feliciano, the BG netminder, and the Cardinals
you
trying
can't
to
do that. You
Yeah, they-
cannot give an unforced error like that. He just simply dropped the ball out of the basket.
in the wrong spot too,
Yeah,
Tom, with
exactly.
3 BC High attackers all around him. Going around the net but not able to complete the circuit was Johnny Shivda out in front.
I'll tell you, the Coach Craigwell promised a hard physical ride. We're seeing it when they're trying to clear the ball.
Definitely are. It's near midfield now in the possession of Joseph Leach Sr. There's a lot of seniors on the roster. I was just looking down.
Tons.
So many, so much experience on this BC High side of the field. They're going to go point to point with the pass, trying to find an open seam. And this shot goes way wide from David Leahy, the junior midfielder and attacker. Missed by quite a bit there, but BC High retains possession. We've played almost halfway through this first quarter. There's a shot and another big save on a high velocity shot.
Knocked Feliciano down.
Nick Emsing has gotten a lot of touches and a lot of shots, but no goal yet.
No, because the goalie for BG, Feliciano, is on his game right now.
Yes, he is.
This is not the
Called
same
upon.
start he had against Bedford. Against Bedford, he really wasn't on top of it until midway through the second quarter.
Some
This
space
game,
down the left side.
This game, he's ready right from the start.
Well, you guys are seeing why BC is 11-1 and still ranked number 1, rated number 1 in the lax numbers for Massachusetts,
yeah.
notwithstanding that overtime loss to St. John's Prep.
BC High, of course, was here with the old turf at Stellos Stadium. They've renovated big time since then with the new turf just this season.
Yeah, they
And,
ran
it
so
seems
fast that day they wore
yeah,
it out.
It seems like it's added to everybody's speed here today.
It looks that way.
Trying to get a shot away and just now a pass. Good passing by BG.
Well, the passing's got to be pinpoint, all right? You
Yeah.
cannot make
Put it
a
on the
turnover
ground, yeah.
on one of those.
Somebody's wearing number 2. It's not on the roster.
yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll
That
see.
happens.
I'll see if I can
For
ping
BG
the.
right there, getting a lot of touches. We'll find out.
I'll see if I can ping the AD when we get a break.
Spin move by Sean McGrary.
Might be
and-
for BG, number 2,
Yeah.
Andrew Redford.
Thank you. All right.
At least he was last week.
Well, there's he was listed as 15 in our roster, but I'm sure
Score!
you're right. There's a goal.
Okay, he's number 2. There we go.
I believe it was number 41 that got it, and that would be Jack Redford.
That's Jack. So we talk about his brother, and his little brother scores. I tell you, the BG's wearing those sleeveless, the yellow.
Yes.
Oh, it's McGarry, Sean McGarry, number 4.
Number 4, yeah, I didn't think it was 41.
Oh, it was 4.
Yeah, it was 4.
Sorry, Sean McGarry got the goal. From in tight, equalizes 1-1. A battle between BG and BC High. BC High scoring first. BG able to come up with a bunch of defensive stops thanks to their goaltender and capitalize on traffic in tight.
I've got Feliciano with 5 already. That's
Wow.
a pretty impressive. But it's going to be that way today. This is a high-octane team.
I have him with 3.
JP Dunsmore passes up ahead. Michael Ponto with it.
Wearing my old Michael McDonough's number 14 right
14?
there. Yeah.
They didn't retire it. Spin move.
That's a nice move.
Gets a shot away. Just misses. Looked like to the right.
Yeah, he was going for that upper right corner,
Yeah.
and he just missed it wide.
But he elevated above the goal line in a hurry, huh?
Yep.
He sure did. And it was just a question of whether he'd be able to hit that about shoebox opening in the upper right. Missed it, but BG still with it. Number 24 is Hudson Schmidt. Passed across the field and out of bounds off of the Cardinals. That's a turnover.
Hudson Schmidt now healthy again after some football injuries.
4 minutes to go in the first quarter. We're all even at 1 apiece. Twisting and turning his way across the field is Enzo Serio. Still with it, far sideline. Good speed. All the way behind the net he goes before he dishes it off.
Yeah, and Serio's a real physical dodger. He will just, like a running back.
Tries to control it there. Almost lost it out of bounds. It's the blue line, correct, Rich? Back there with the
I
flag?
believe that's correct,
Coming
yeah.
out from behind the goal.
Just look at the flags, John.
And that's-
We'll
is that a
see.
trip?
Ooh, what a hit.
Oh, it's a good
That's a
slide.
hit.
That was
Good
a
hit.
real good slide.
Yep.
A whistle. I don't know what that is.
It's like official timeout for some, maybe equipment.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's all set now.
They resume. BG still has the ball.
That was Avery Whitehead sliding. He's going to play at Lake Forest. I coached him
Lake Forest. Where
in
is that?
Illinois, right outside of
that's what I thought
Chicago.
so.
They made the NCAA.
Coming up front, the shot.
Oh, boy, big
Never
time.
got to the goaltender, it looked like. Might have been blocked by one of the defenders, but BG able to retrieve near midfield.
You want to feel old for a second? So my college teammate from Fairfield, son, is the captain at Lake Forest. It feels great, but it makes you feel ancient.
Oh, come on. That's nothing. I got guys I covered in college. They're coaching now, or they're principals, or
And
whatever.
their grandfathers.
And their grandfathers.
I just told me
Give
we
me
were
a-
at Riviera.
Give me a break.
Well, you know, he's feeling old for himself, and you know,
That's
you're setting all kinds of records over there.
Oh,
Tom.
that's
There's
a good
shot.
pull.
Save.
And a save. Shot taken by Cam Hayden, the Penn State bound.
Yeah, he's a really good
Junior.
player. Hard
Already
lefty.
knows. There's a tic-tac-toe goal, and it's a great save again.
Another shot that sends Feliciano to the ground, and yet he still makes the stop.
The rebound went off the post,
That
off
one's a
the
pipe.
right post.
I want to give him a
heavy
save on that
hitting
one, but that was a pipe.
Right, we could pretty much see that clearly.
That's a moving pick. That's got to
And-
be interference.
And they call it.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm a card-carrying ref as well.
Yes.
Yes.
We gotta test your ref knowledge in a
No,
moment,
no.
because Tom and I had a little bit of a disagreement on charge and blocking fouls in the offensive zone yesterday, and Tom did say, there could be some technical knowledge there that we could go look up.
I'll do what I can to help you.
All right.
But
We'll
it's
set
such a
the
long
stage.
way off, though.
Well, basically, it was this girl ran the length of the field, and she ran into a defender right near the goaltender that was kind of like acting like a wall.
Yeah, it's charging.
And fell down.
It's charging.
No,
Well, they didn't call
they
it
didn't
charging.
call it.
though,
They
yeah.
All right, here
called
he
it on
goes. A turnover and a look.
See, I felt the defender didn't make a
And a
oh!
goal! And
man.
it's a defensive lapse by BC High to let Jeremy Warren basically face-to-face with the goaltender all by himself on some good passing right down the middle by Bishop Guertin.
And another kid I coached. Great family. I got to coach most of those Warrens, and their mom's an English teacher at BG.
He's a senior captain on this team and made a nice play there just to finish it off at the conclusion of that fast break in on basically a 2-on-none there at the end.
Yep.
So BC High lets one
Just
up.
get out of Dodge. Get to the green right there if you're Paolo right there.
Open man right there.
First lead of the game for the Cardinals. They're up 2-1. BC High scored first.
Little defensive lapse by BC High.
Yeah.
Let that man wide open in the middle.
1:27 to go in the first quarter, and BG has it back. Cruising around the edge. That is number 41,
Warren.
McBorney.
Oh, no. Jeremy Warren used to wear this, so it's Redfern who got the first marker.
And Jack Redfern, yes, you're right, the goal scorer. And then back to BG's possession. It looked like BC High was going to set up some kind of offensive attack, and then they turn it over again.
I think we're under a minute. I wouldn't be surprised if they milk this one and get a couple of good looks and leave BC with very little time.
Let's see if they are clock aware. One of their goal scorers, Sean McGarry, had it. Passes it behind the net.
Gary's father was a D pole at Alfred.
Michael Ponto to the top of the key. Hudson Schmidt. Back to the near side, Ponto. So it looks like he's setting up a run to the left here, trying to get the defender away, and there
Now
he
he's
goes.
also watching
the run
the
to
clock.
the left.
You'd hope. You'd
Didn't
hope he's
shoot it,
watching the
though.
clock.
Oh, a
That's a heck
difficult
of a skip pass.
A skip pass, a shot, and a goal.
Oh, that trickled in right under Emsing's
Yes.
stick.
He
Cam
thought
Hayden.
He thought he had it, and then he looked down and saw it roll in.
Cam Hayden, Jeremy Warren, and Jack Redfern with the goals. 3-1.
Well,
BG
a
is up
great
front.
start for BG in this game, which I think you need. You don't want to. I remember 2 years ago when we watched this game, BG was starting, had to climb up the hill, and then they passed BC High. It's tough to climb up that hill all the time.
They get another face-off win, and they have a chance to get another shot
They
away
gotta
with
get it
2
off.
seconds left, but BC High is not going to let them do it.
Well, I tell you, in the last third of that period, Vasquez really started to flex and assert himself. And that great setup by Ponto, very patient. He was definitely clock aware. He's going to RPI, which was ranked as high as 5th in D3 this year.
So much talent, so many great schools. We'll come back with second quarter action coming up here at Stellos. You're watching Nashua ETV, your home for exciting local sports action. Whether you're at home or away, don't miss a moment of the big game. Check out our updated app, now also available for iPhone and Android. Just search for Nashua Community Media TV in your favorite app store. Follow your favorite local teams on Nashua ETV, bringing you closer to the action than ever before. Welcome back to Stellos Stadium in Nashua, where we are being treated to quite a lacrosse battle between some high school powers. Bishop Guertin boys lacrosse against out-of-town BC High boys lacrosse. It's a 3-1 lead for the Cardinals. As the way the game started, John Collins with Rich McDonough, Tom King. Rich, the way the game started, it looked like it might be going toward a one-sided BC High contest as the goaltender for BG, Jonah Feliciano, was under siege. He had to make several high-quality stops, and all of a sudden the momentum shifted. What happened?
Sometimes that's what you have to do, and it translates to the rest of your team. You know, it's like, okay, Jonah came to play. We got to get on our horse, too. But also, as we said when we broke, Vasquez really started to flex at the face-off dot, and possession is everything in this sport. Ooh, that's a good rip, though.
Goaltenders change ends, so BC High is now defending the goal to our right. The sun has gone away for the moment as we're expecting rain. Perhaps it'll be a lot of rain before this matchup ends.
Yeah.
It was a 4:30 start on a Thursday, May 8th.
Ooh, yard sale.
Again, a mixed bag of spring weather here.
Yeah, without a doubt.
We've had a lot of rain, a lot of sun.
You know, part of the equation, I think, John, there's a lot of DNA baked into BG now. Four-time defending champs. Yeah, they're 6-2, but they lost to out-of-state powers. And
St. John's Prep.
And then number 2 Staples nationally.
I think
they just kind of just relaxed, you know?
Yep.
This is a tall order. BC High is awesome this year. And they just, but they had a bunch of All-Americans graduate last year, and now they're stepping into their own, you know? So it'll be a fun game.
Luke Allen for BC High coming out of the corner with it. He almost went right over for a personal coaching session there before he trots back into the corner, drawing the attention of the BG defenders. He tries to make a move. Will he go right? Will he go left? He goes right. Defender stays with him. Flicks
it's a good
it.
knockdown.
And that could be a takeaway for BG. Ball's on the ground.
That's Foley. He's got great hand-eye coordination. I think that's a push with possession, but they don't throw the flag. I'm quite amazed by that. Okay, it is what it is. I can't yell at refs anymore since I got my
BC High
stripes.
seals it back, right?
Yeah.
A call that could have went the other way.
And there's Allen, number 16. You mentioned him a second ago. He's another Player of the Year candidate. Real good player. He's headed to Union, which is a top-shelf school in D3.
Sure. Luke Allen with it, and he shot it, but he was short side to the left of the post. It looks like it was outside.
No, but
Frame. Did you save it?
Feliciano got it. He went right, which is not his natural hand. He's really good with it, but Feliciano with a great save. And then the hustle to get to the back line. Good job by BG right there.
Yeah, to beat him to the ball. So BG finally does earn the turnover, and then they throw it away.
Yeah, that's not – so it's a 10-man ride. BC can 10-man ride, which means they pull the goalie out, and it's man-to-man all over the field. What you got to do is win your battle. You don't want to go 50-yard passes. That's what they want you to do.
Yeah, they went for the long bomb touchdown pass there, and it was incomplete out of bounds. So BC High scores.
There's Emsing's with his left.
Wow. Emsing, number 35 for BC High. Nick Emsing, senior captain, just kind of casually running from left to right.
Almost a rope-a-dope kind of thing, you know?
Sure, with the left-handed shot, and he bounced it up over Feliciano. So
and that's his game. He'll do that nice topside sweep. He'll lull you to sleep like Ali in the rope-a-dope, and then he'll turn on the jets. And once he gets those hands free with that cannon, you saw the results.
Sure. I mean, that's very impressive lacrosse play right there. Only the second goal to get past Feliciano. It's a 3-2 lead for BG still in the all-impressive draw possession. It's on the turf. It's still down. We got a whistle. And the call goes against the Cardinals. So it's a BC High possession.
I think they called a push on that. I think they just got their feet tangled, but that's just the way it goes, John.
That's the way they interpreted it?
Yep.
It looked like it was equally people getting pushed on either side, but officials saw it in favor of the Eagles.
Hey, the Dumont twins, the All-American pair who graduated last year, they're here in attendance.
No kidding.
You know, both the Villanova and
Loyola. They wouldn't miss this, huh?
Nah, it was good to see them.
Jacob Adams.
That's a good look inside.
Inside, and no shot that time. Murphy Belvin.
Just couldn't hang on to that.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the crowd scene. Poor J.P. Dunsmore. And that's a good timeout by Coach
5
Cameron.
players in the corner there, Rich.
J.P. Dunsmore, lacrosse DNA in that family for sure. Little sister plays for Hollis Brookline. They all can run like the wind. And his older 2 brothers, St. Anselm, All-Americans, you know?
That says a lot about this sport, that kids with that kind of athletic ability just decide this is the one that I'm going to develop my skills in the most.
And they were cross-country guys, so
wow.
between the dots, they're mostly, short stick defenders.
Yep.
But they can run all day, and they're gritty kids. I always see them playing in the dirt, even at 18.
Wow. No kidding.
Yeah, they're neighbors of mine. So anyway, but great family, and
it's a fun sport. I mean, just to watch it, I wondered, how much I would have enjoyed it as a kid. It was just kind of not one of the options when you're growing up in the city of Boston. It was sort of like the Big 4 sports. Maybe,
well, and now it's just
lucky.
everywhere, and we're seeing
right.
high quality at all the levels, and the club. And that's why the kids from St. John's Prep Danvers, BC High, and these guys, they all know each other. But St. John's Prep Danvers has been the nemesis for BC High, so I think they were glad to get rid of them early in the season.
Yeah.
Especially when you lose it 52 seconds into overtime.
So we will go to the final. Thank you. We have an updated roster from a BC High official, perhaps?
Parent. It was a parent.
A parent.
I believe.
Yeah, very nice of them to share it. So
very
maybe
kind.
we're getting the name or 2 wrong based on the numbers
he said
that
it was
we have.
updated, so we'll do our best here to flex ourselves, right? And I'll do the edits at halftime, John.
Okay. If there any need to be made, I know you do some research on it, and it's possible that you do have the updated version.
I think I'll just have a McDonough printer and laptop installed here in the booth. This is a big possession right here, I think.
Yeah, around the edge it goes. This could tie it up if BC High is able to convert this possession. They're down 3-2. A well-played first half, to say the least. They're going around the defender. Will he get a shot away? He does. Goal. Looked like he went 5-hole low. Number 8 was Joe Leach.
Yeah, and Baker just couldn't hang with Leach on that. Got the shorty, but he didn't get enough help early enough in the sequence. So it got him all the way inside to the island. And, John, that's what we call, if you think of the crease, the goal circle, as Mickey Mouse's face, the ears are the islands just out top of the goal crease. So you get to the island,
I'll never
get to the
forget that.
island.
You put Mickey Mouse's face on there for me.
Analogies
the
are us.
islands, right? They
the
call them?
island, yeah. You want to get to the island, and if you're there, you're in pay dirt range. That was a good drive.
It certainly was, and it tied the game at 3. So BG wins the draw. Loose ball on the turf. They get it back. And good play there by number 17, Tyler McLeod, to feed it.
He's a good player.
Whistle. Foul away from the ball.
Probably interference.
Interference near the net, and that's a mistake for BG.
Look at this.
BC High's ready to shoot it.
Holy
Save
cow.
made by Feliciano. Downfield comes BG with the big long stick defender with the shot. No good. It was a miss by McLeod. Tremendous velocity on that. It was even hard to see it, pick it out in midair. It was whistled past the net. BG trying to take their lead back in a 3-3 game.
This will be an interesting set. I think BG, they've got to get at least a good look on this set because, BC High kind of stabilized itself, and they've had some real good looks in the last sequences.
Goes around the edge quick, gets up top, corner.
Good check.
Good check put on by number 9 for BC High. That's Connor Malone.
Malone.
And he knocked the ball free, and that's why BC High has it, looking to take the lead. In a 3-3 game, 6:40 to go in the first half. We're in the second quarter of 4.
Yeah, you don't want to play psychiatrist too much with BC's run right here to tie it up at 3, and then that takeaway right there. Sometimes you feel like it's slipping a little bit after you gain control. So
Right.
BG needs a good defensive stand right here. I believe.
Definitely a momentum shift. You can feel it. It's near side for Nathan Rogers for BC High. Fakes right, goes left, runs into a check.
Good defense by the shorty.
Cam Hayden.
Gets it done on both ends of the field.
And Colin Foley. There's a shot.
All alone.
And a goal.
All alone with that backside. Whoa.
Number 33 is Murphy Belvin.
Yeah.
And he knew just what he wanted to do with it, Rich, when he got it. It was kind of a creative shot.
Well, it was creative, yeah, with a little kind of a backside twist type of thing, and then a backbreaker, sometimes you call it.
Oh,
but what happened there, John, was the pass went inside. We didn't have the second slide from the back.
Right.
You know, you got to go one slide, two slide, or help, hot and cold.
So we had
Didn't come.
defensive lapse earlier by BC High. I think we just saw one for BG, as you pointed out.
There's no doubt. But they, credit BC High. They set them up.
Right. And they take the lead.
That's where your backside fellas on the D have to really communicate, and same thing with your goalkeeper.
Sure. And not leave the goalkeeper all to his own devices. So we have a timeout, it looks like.
And I think,
what is this? Emphatic instructions from our official at midfield to reset.
I didn't have LASIK done on my ears. I couldn't quite hear it, but they sorted it out.
Yeah.
That's good refereeing. One guy thought one thing, one thought the other, and that's first lesson they say is communicate with each other. They sorted it out, and the guy who was trailing and could see it real well helped him make the right call. That's good officiating. Look at the aggressive ride, John.
Yeah, fierce back checking, and it leads to a turnover. BC High back on the attack, looking to go up by 2. There's a feed on the wing. The shot, goal. That's 35.
That's
Emsing
Emsing again. Holy cow, he's got a ripper, huh?
He sure does. Great accuracy, and that might have been a screenshot as well. I don't know how good of a view the goaltender had on that.
And you nailed it. You nailed it. So what good shooters like he and others do is when the defender approaches you to take away your angle, you just go right around his hip and you brought a screen to the ball.
Oh, yeah. Almost like using them, exploiting the fact that you get the defender in front of you.
Yep.
And just go around him. And it's
so you want to really get aggressive and check that glove as you approach.
Tough shot to pick up. Coming right off of the perimeter of your own teammate, the defender.
And Feliciano needs himself a save. He's just got to, that just gets you back into your mojo and get you back in rhythm.
5-3 lead for BC High. They win the draw with possession.
That's a heck of a 4-goal run.
It sure is. They shifted this game dramatically after being down 3-1.
I was looking at a far more active BG defense there in that last sequence.
So that's a good timeout, you think, right?
I think it's a real good timeout. Yeah. Yeah, you've got a good run going. I was loath when I was coaching at St. John's down in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area, and, loath to bust up a run. But here you get into 5 minutes, you got some rhythm. Let's maybe throw a couple wrinkles in that BG isn't ready for, because you could see, I just saw them more active. So let's see, here they come, and let's give them something they weren't thinking about 2 minutes ago. So.
There's
and
a lot
I can't
more
fault
strategy in lacrosse than I think I was aware before working with you, and it's very fascinating to watch two teams of this caliber go at it. Bishop Guertin welcomes the out-of-state competition. They're undefeated in New Hampshire. I have them not losing a game as yet.
That's correct. Yeah, they've won 69 straight games in New Hampshire. In fact, going back several seasons. And their next New Hampshire win, if they tee them up, and they don't play any New Hampshire games for a little bit. They play North, and you got to like their odds. That would be 70 in a row.
Yeah.
But still got to play the game.
Right.
Yeah.
So they dropped their opener against St. John's Prep. We mentioned in Staples they had their only 2 losses so far. They put up 21 goals on Concord. 16 against Salem and Merrimack. So it's all about the caliber of the competition.
There a couple teams are rebuilding, reloading, what have you, and Merrimack's more talented than it has been in previous years, and great coaching and some really good personal stories on that team. But, you know, there is a difference between a BG level and a developing Merrimack.
So Emsing, he has it right now. Captain, not afraid to shoot. He's in the setup position behind the goal. There's a shot.
Somebody ate that up inside or got a deflection, I think.
Yeah, it was number 33, Murphy Belvin, that launched that and missed, but BC High retains possession.
Belvin's had himself a good start here today. You know, while other players are getting some serious accolades, and there goes Leach.
Deflected pass, going to go close to out of bounds, diving to keep it in, but just couldn't get there. Was Joe Leach. Great effort. That was actually 17. Sorry,
that was Sirio, yeah.
Sirio.
He was the guy I said who's a physical bull-dodger type, but showed some
Right.
serious wheels.
Yeah.
Some Sirio wheels.
And effort. Sirio wheels.
Yeah.
So a break for BG. There's a shot and a goal. Max velocity from Tyler McLeod, the long stick midfielder. Let it fly.
And I got to tell you, I could see it developing. There was a ton of real estate around McLeod right there. We call it a pole goal, and it's so exciting. And let me give you a little different
Pole
perspective.
goal. Love it.
As a goaltender, when that 6-foot-high pole goes up and on a tall kid like McLeod,
It's intimidating.
it's 12 feet in the air, and it's
Wow.
hard to read when it comes down at you.
Oh,
And,
sure.
yeah. Emsing's a real good goalie.
You just hope he's not accurate, right, with it?
Plus, it's got a little bit of extra centrifugal force. So,
I
big
bet.
face-off for BG right here.
Yeah, and you know what? McLeod had tried that shot earlier and missed it, so he wasn't going to miss the second wide-open opportunity. Win for BG, but they throw it away, intercepted by Johnny Shivda.
That is what turns my hair gray, John.
And they turn it right back over.
Yeah, and
Jose-
then an errant pass.
3 turnovers in a row now as BC High benefits from the long pass that goes awry.
And more gray hair.
Yes.
It's really frustrating. It's frustrating for everybody. It's just got to take a breath. It's
Yep.
just clearing the ball. There's no reason to hyperventilate. Get your 2-on-1s or 3, your triangles, and just move the ball up the ladder. If one side doesn't work, redirect. You got 20 seconds. It's a long time.
BC High in the maroon with the ball and the lead. They're ahead 5-4. We're in the first half, 3.5 minutes left to go in it.
Here comes your thunder.
Yeah, you can hear it. A few swings of momentum in this one, and right now, well, I said that.
Turf monster.
Yeah, I was going to say BC High had all
That's
the
a good
momentum.
pickup right there by Ryan.
It's still on the turf.
Good fight for it.
It sure is.
And finally, Belvin gets it, huh?
Belden gets it. So, whistle, timeout. It looks like another one.
Yeah,
on the
another
field.
good timeout for Coach Craigwell there.
2-minute timeout.
He played at Hobart back in the day for Matt Kerwick, guy I know when we had a big Hobart connection at St. John's.
Sure.
And Kerwick was coaching there, did a real good job. Obviously, the best ever at Hobart was a guy named Dave Urich, who ended up going to Georgetown just after I left there, but he won 11 titles in a row for the Statesmen. Impressive.
That is Rich McDonough. I'm John Collins, along with Tom King. Dylan Smith is on camera for us today on Nashua ETV, and this is the first of 2 lacrosse games where Bishop Guertin boys and girls invite out-of-town, high-caliber opponents to come in here and challenge them and challenge each other. So it's the girls' game scheduled to start at 6:30. Will they play in any kind of weather? Or, I mean, obviously you can't play in the lightning.
You can't play with lightning. Pouring rain, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes it's fun.
Right, is it? I mean, on a field like this, does it have a huge effect when it's
I haven't
pouring?
walked this turf yet. It's brand new. It's
Yeah.
probably pretty sticky, so I think it'll probably be just fine.
Tell
And-
me a little bit about the Riviere win yesterday, Rich. How far do you think that team can go in the
Well,
NCAA?
I don't.
Division III
I
tournament?
called the NESCAC men's semis and finals.
Yeah.
Guess who's waiting for them in Maine is
Bowdoin?
Bowdoin.
Wow,
and
yeah.
Bowdoin, I just said it yesterday. They can win it all. They took Tufts to
Bowdoin
overtime.
can?
Sure.
Really? Yeah, they did take Tufts to overtime.
15-14,
right?
Very good, John
Yeah,
Collins.
I did say that because,
Yeah,
Bowdoin
baseball
was the
guy.
Colby rival, right? So that got
Yes.
my attention. Oh,
Yeah.
Bowdoin's good in lacrosse.
One of my best friend's sons, assistant coach at Colby now.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
somebody just told me, you're talking about feeling old. Tom Dexter, their baseball coach, retired after 36 years of coaching Colby. He got there 4 years after I graduated.
Wow. All right, that's a long time to do
Yeah,
anything.
so I didn't play for him. I didn't even meet him. I played for Waldo Koval. There's a
There's a
shot,
jump
and
shot.
it's wide. Or actually, the goalie had a stick on it. I think it might have been wide, but BG able to pounce on the rebound. Good job by the defense.
And I was saying Enzo Cirio is a heck of a dodger, and we just saw him go right down the slot right there and take a wicked jump shot.
There's a long pass again. Ill-advised.
It's the
long
10-man
pass.
ride. You see the goalie was out and behind at X. And
You got to be
BG
perfect with those passes, and BG has not been.
The problem is you got to coach it. And, you know, when you're preparing for a high-caliber team like BC High, you know, if you have to spend 15, 20 minutes coaching 10-man ride clearing, you take yourself out of rhythm in a way.
Penn State bound Cam Hayden, number 6, passes it off to Michael Ponto, who's headed to RPI, and back to Cam Hayden.
And I think they really need Hayden right now. And then Owen King, I haven't seen much of him today. I hope he's not hurt.
Sprinting
He's in the back
Ponto.
corner. That's a good timeout by Coach Cameron.
Coach Cameron of BG goes for the timeout in his first season, assisted by Luke Solms, Cody Marquis, and has to.
Well, and his father is kind of the GM on the sidelines now. You know, Chris Cameron, the great Hall of Fame level coach.
Skies darkening by the second here at Stellos Stadium.
Yeah.
We're
Like I'm watching the Wizard of Oz here.
pretty good crowd on hand. And let's see if BG can come out of this powwow with some kind of a set play maybe and tie this thing up before the half.
Maybe a little bit of a set play, but certainly they want to think about, you know, the formations and react to what BC High is doing. I wouldn't bet against Coach Craigwell for BC throwing in a mini zone. He's not a zone guy, but somehow you got to throw a little 3-3 in there.
Something they're not expecting
right,
coming
for the
out
moment,
of the huddle.
and then, you know, maybe on the first whistle you flex back into man. But it should
Right.
be the chess match is on, and trailing 1 with 56 seconds. This huge sequence for BG coming up, John.
We'll see what the final moments of the first half bring.
I'm watching Brady Donahue on the Cards sidelines playing golf with a bottle. That's pretty funny. That's
Is he a golfer?
I guess so.
So as you see, it's the BC High net that we're looking at. The goaltender's going to come back out in a moment. That's number 23.
Yeah, that's TJ, the younger
TJ
Emsing.
Emsing.
Yeah.
And the ball's be right in front of us. Actually, it was number 24 with it, Hudson Schmidt.
Schmidt, his father went to Fairfield, same time I did.
Schmidt charging.
Excellent football player.
Flicks it inside. The bounce shot misses wide to the right. BG recovers it.
The low passes.
Loose ball with 1:20 left.
Run through the ball and carry it away. That's what you got to do.
And they do it.
There
The
you
Cardinals with it. Operating with some space here. Number 4 for the Cardinals, Sean McGarry. McGarry's got one of the goals.
Yeah, he's a good
In the
player.
middle, the shot is low and
Flags.
wide to the right.
And we got a penalty. I'm going to listen into my
It
colleague
was
here.
a delayed penalty. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a cross check. That's going to go against Jake Adams right there.
And it's for 1 minute, so
Yep.
it's about just the rest of the period. It's 1:02 remaining in the half.
Yep.
And a 1 minute penalty against Johnny Shivda.
So they can take this. Shivda. Yeah, we had him with 10 on their original roster. Thanks to the parents for giving us a corrected one.
They were kind of listening through the window. Got a few numbers
Oh, what
wrong.
a
In front,
cut, but a
loose
strip.
ball. Goaltender picks it up.
Oh, that is unfortunate right there for Ponto.
Opportunity missed to tie this thing up for BG.
He didn't tuck his stick when he went by.
And it cost them the turnover.
So BC High is, down 1 here. Oh, boy.
And the shot and the goal on the move from right to left. It was number 8, Joe Leach.
That's a
midfielder.
man-down goal. That is Haley's Comet, John Collins, man.
Is it? Is that unusual in
It's
lacrosse?
highly
to be-
unusual,
Really?
Because usually with a minute-long penalty and so much of it remaining, you want to just chew clock. But
so
nobody
letdown,
moved for BG.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't really exploit that man advantage at all. In fact, it looked like Joe Leach had all kinds of room to operate as he sprinted down the field almost unchecked.
That is a backbreaker if you're wearing gold today. Holy cow.
So instead of BG getting a man-up goal to tie it up, they're down 2 with 30 seconds left. They do win the draw.
Yeah, and they're quick strike themselves, especially with Vasquez at that dot. He did his job. Now it's time for the O to step up. 20 seconds, John.
On the far side. That's Hudson Schmidt. Gets it back.
They have got to get Owen King in gear.
10 seconds. Will Hudson Smith just shoot it? No, it's going to be a deflected shot. Getting in the way of that was number 22, Jackson Ketchen.
And you know what was happening right there? It was rolling out of his stick as he unloaded it, so it came out weird and allowed that deflection.
3 seconds. It's got to be a shot from distance, and
that's a
no
good
chance.
Good lift check to close out the period. Wow, what a period.
Yeah. So this is no easy opponent to come back on, but that's what Bishop Guertin will have to do if they're going to win this game. Even though it's a tough opponent from out of state, they all count in the New Hampshire Division I standings, Rich. So let's see what BG can come up with in the next 24 minutes of play.
Should be an interesting powwow underneath us in the locker room. And hey, these are two terrific teams. Anybody can get back on their horse and get moving. Should be fun, John.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be some great lacrosse, too, on Nashua ETV. Stay with us here at Stellos for the second half coming up.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Stellos Stadium in Nashua. Lacrosse doubleheader. Bishop Guertin boys and girls as they invite out-of-state opponents of high caliber. A difficult competition right here unfolding as BG finding themselves on the wrong end of a 6-4 score against BC High. John Collins with Tom King and Rich McDonough. Fresh 12 minutes up on the scoreboard as we go to the third quarter for another all-important draw at midfield.
Vasquez got to get out of the gate quickly here. That's a good goose, though, by BC. But he jumped the gun.
Got the call.
Yep.
And so it is BG ball to begin the second half.
That was a tough last possession that they had to try to look for a shot when they called timeout. Came out right before the, with about 50 seconds to go or whatever, and they just didn't get a good set, didn't get a good look, didn't get a good shot. It was 1:04 left when they called the timeout. Didn't get a good look, didn't do anything right, it seemed. And BC High goes right down the field and scores with 33 seconds left. I mean, that's not what you want.
That was tough.
Yep.
Especially man down.
Right.
BG trying to start the second half with momentum. They'd love to score here on their first possession as they go around the edge. Finding a seam, passing it behind the net.
Aggressive checking by BC. Wow.
Thought we might see a shot there from Cam Hayden, but he passed it up.
They were aggressive early on in the first quarter, and then they backed off, and they paid for it.
Lucky that ended up on a teammate's stick.
Boy, not a good shot there.
No.
It just seemed to slip. There's
about a misfire by Hudson Schmidt.
There's about 2 or 3 shots that I've saw down on the field taken by BG that seemed to leave the basket before the player wanted it to.
Well, Harrison Galvin's all over the gloves of anybody who touches the ball and has a shooting look. That's just talent on the defensive end right there.
So making life difficult for the BG offense. Now BC High trying to score first here in the second half to add to their 6-4 lead. Pass gets away, fight for the loose ball. Whistle out of bounds off of who?
It deflected off of BC. That was a good check. So you had the cross, the head of the cross was on the ground, and that was a well-timed check right there.
So a turnover. Bishop Guertin
And
comes back down the field.
Another
Over the other way.
It was
the
a
parents are
shot.
all saying it was a shot.
They're trying to claim it was a shot, but the ref's not buying it.
Yeah.
He thought it was an errant pass, and that is a turnover.
There are 300 refs in the stands.
Yep. Getting cooler and windier here. Breezier, I should say.
Oh, we got
It's
a
called
delayed
front
penalty coming,
through.
John.
Yeah, it's going to be probably a slash from behind.
Or a push.
Yeah.
One of the two.
So when we have our next whistle and/or an out of bounds, Tyler McLeod is going to go serve a penalty, it looks like, and number 17.
Boy, and Coach Craigwell has something dialed up right here. He's really exhorting his guys.
So working with the delayed penalty, looking for a quality shot. BC High goes around the edges.
Kind of in a 2-3 right now.
Sprinting out front. Pass is missed. Murphy Belvin changing direction, feeds it inside. The shot is wide by Luke Allen, and
Yeah,
there's the whistle.
That was a good rip. But
Not on goal, but great velocity on that. And here is
he got top side of the island right there. It was a good look, and I'm sure Feliciano's breathing a little sigh of relief right there.
It is 60 seconds. It's a full minute penalty against BG's number 17. Tyler McLeod in the box.
Yeah, he's a real good LSM, but
he's a
got
key
a little bit
defender,
too aggressive on that one. Yeah.
So BG's going to miss him for the next minute, and hopefully they don't give up a power play goal. Trailing 6-4. BC High trying to set up a shot. It's on the turf again.
Eli Zeman, number 45, in the rotation for the man down here. His brother played in that Riv game yesterday.
Yes.
And his father is a ref.
Changing directions, gets
nice
the shot
move.
away. Goal
don't-
somehow found its way through by Luke Allen.
He did something I've never seen a player do, change the stick angle on the fly like that.
Well, it's that little behind, the twister kind of
Yeah,
move right there.
And it fooled the goaltender.
Well, and he'd come off his pipe just ever so slightly, and that is a great read by a terrific shooter.
There seemed to be only the least sliver of daylight between the goalie and the post.
Gotta hug that pipe. You gotta feel the iron. Don't lose contact with it.
Right, and so a power play goal for BC High, and they don't get the man back in Lacrosse, right? You just score.
That wipes off the penalty.
Yeah, well, it does.
Oh, it does?
Oh,
Yeah, unless
Okay.
it's locked in, and if we have a situation, we'll
left
talk
it
about
up on the
that. Is an
scoreboard.
awesome trail check. It's a lifting trail check.
Yeah, and
Wow.
so BC High gets the ball back just like that.
Just the little fundamentals that they are able to do better, and it shows on the field right now. And it's
Incredible effort.
timeout by Guertin, I believe. Who scored that last goal?
That was Luke Allen that got in there. And as
Yeah,
you
he's the
said,
kid who's going to Union, which they were top 10 all year in D3. They were in the finals a couple years back. Lots of quality players on this field today. Even and high quality play from the kids who aren't committed yet.
Right.
Too. I mean, this two teams have built something special.
Timeout on the field. We'll take a break. You're watching BC versus BG here at Stellos. Welcome back to Nashua ETV. Boys lacrosse. BC High with possession coming out of the timeout, trying to add to their 7-4 lead. BG did lead this one. The Cardinals were up 4-1 at one point before BC High went on this tremendous run that they are still on. Emsing, who's got one of the goals, a wicked shot that is saved by Feliciano
He
somehow.
needed that one desperately.
Pete Johnson gave us the radar report that most of the heavy stuff, the troubling precipitation, is going to our north. It's moving from southwest toward northeast above Nashua, so maybe we won't get hit.
You know the one thing we don't want to have
is the L word.
Yes.
And that's lightning. So,
and that's a staple with the ETV broadcasts, right?
2 lightning delays in the GNAC championship that we called between Riviere and LaSalle. There's a shot.
Ooh,
off of the
pipe.
Pope.
Oh.
And
The net
the
moved.
pipe.
Off the Pope.
Off the Pope.
We got white smoke up here in the booth.
There might be from the velocity of that shot.
John, I told you why I was disappointed in my day, and it was because I wasn't elected Pope.
Oh, wow.
An American was, and it wasn't
That's not
me.
so bad. Join
And
the
it
club.
wasn't me. An American was, it wasn't me. Don't I have a pious look? I mean, come on.
Do we know there was a new Pope? Oh.
Yeah,
American.
From Chicago.
Oh, that's news
Yes,
to me.
welcome to the world, John Collins.
I am all about sports. That's
yes,
what
right.
I do.
No, you're yeah, right. Yeah.
New Pope, white smoke. That was quick.
Hey,
Wow.
I'll be here all night. Oh my goodness!
Coming out from behind, that's Emsing with another.
The talent, and once he gets north of the defender's hips and has all that momentum coming around the cage, John, it's lights out. You've got to get somebody topside of him to prevent him
Boy,
from
he is
elevating.
having quite a game.
That's his third. He's got himself a hattie now.
Yeah, and he was a real big factor in that second quarter when they started pulling away, and they're pulling away now. 4-goal lead. They were down by 2. It's a 6-goal swing, and
and that man up that Bishop Guertin squandered near the end of the second quarter was monstrous.
It really was.
Player of the Year candidate Nick Emsing showing why. Can't leave him alone for a second.
Vasquez, good skip pass right there.
Vasquez
get it right back to
doing
him.
a pretty good job on those draws.
Hey, we got 2 Catholic
What a few.
schools on the day. We got a new pope.
Right, exactly.
Oh, man. Looking at BC High's schedule, it's my youth, all those CMs, Catholic Memorial.
It was about 11:30 this morning, John.
I was Blessed Sacrament.
11:30, okay.
Yeah. 11:30, the white smoke came, and then a couple hours later, they finally came out.
I even went to a Catholic law school.
Oh, I went to a Catholic. I was all Catholic all the way through until college.
I think those Pope.
That's a good
shot.
look inside. Wow.
And a save. I think those Cardinals were without their cell phones shorter time than Pete Johnson was.
Yeah, no kidding. I know.
figure
So
why
they want to get out of that conclave quick. American Pope elected.
A couple days, wasn't it? Was it a couple days?
I think it was only maybe just
maybe.
over 24
All right,
hours.
so what happened there, guys, was the goalie made a fantastic
Lacrosse.
save, and
Right.
you can't pick it up.
Right.
Yep, you can bat it down, can't pick it up
Can't pick it up? Why not?
because it says so.
Ponto
Another
lost it.
strip check. This
Yeah.
is BC High's accuracy on their checks is fantastic, and that is what I expect from.
They just pick your pocket going through
Now,
traffic.
they've done it a few times. The turnovers are killing Bishop Guertin.
And look, this is one of the stingiest D coaches mentality ever. When he coached Wayland Craigwell, 4 goals a game they averaged.
Wow.
Giving up. That's amazing.
Now, he was the coach 2 years ago, too. He was there 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. He's been here a 7th season. Terrific man.
Yep. Well, it's a claw.
And then Aiden Carroll, who was a BC High alum, had the 8 goals against Villanova for Georgetown the other day in the Big East final. Amazing.
National championships on Memorial Day weekend, all down in Foxborough.
That's going to be awesome. Maybe they'll give us a D3 call.
St. Anne's, we'll wonder if Riv that far. I'll ask you during the next time out or during the quarter break or whatever, what kind of competition Riv will face with Bowdoin on Saturday.
Massive.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
They can be in championship weekend for sure.
Number 8 in the country, I believe, right? Ranked number 8.
Depending on which poll you look at, but they're built to beat Tufts, and they can.
So BC High trying to add to an 8-4 lead now. It's been a long time since Bishop Guertin scored. Getting a piece of that one looked like Feliciano made a nice save.
Might have a Serio. There's that nice dodge. He does that alley dodge as well as anybody.
Again, another one.
Murphy Belvin passed it to Emsing. He almost had another.
Well, the problem was that pass was like a shot.
Well, I'll tell you, BC High, since that run that BG had, they have completely elevated their game across the board.
They have the stick work.
Big
is
sweep.
Impressive. That Leahy shot misses right. David Leahy letting that one fly. He got a little bit too much room to let it go.
Score.
And a goal, sprinting from behind the goal.
It's almost like he just ran by and said, I'll drop this over to him and see what happens.
Luke Allen's done that a few times in this game now.
And Noah Guerrera needed topside help right there, and none came.
Just terrific goal-scoring athletes on this BC High
BG
team.
seems to be looking around on defense and not knowing exactly where to set up, where the ball is going to be.
Right.
BC High is so quick, very, very quick, and it shows.
You can see that people just attack the circle looking for that loose ball, both teams, and BC High comes away with it. That's Cal LaPointe spinning, and he gets it knocked down. Loose ball. Cal LaPointe versus...
Look at the mentality. Never give up.
Right. Don't give up on a play at all.
The short stick defenders for BC High and Coach Craigwell, it's an art and a science, and you know they've got 6 of them. It's an embarrassment of riches, really.
Yeah. So Tyler McLeod in the battle. The long stick loses it. Emsing has it. He's being escorted around now. I think BG's knowing they can't leave him alone for a second.
At a certain point, BG's probably going to have to press out a little bit.
Emsing fakes left, goes right, creates space, shoots, bounces it over the net.
That was good help defense from inside from Andre Steinbruck, who's one of the real good football players for BG, and he's a terrific athlete, but they needed that slide, and they got it just in time. It ruined his shooting angle.
Yes. 9 minutes to go in the third. Have gone in the third quarter. It's been all BC High.
Good job running it out.
Exactly. Able to get that step on the player in the behind and have the ball turn over.
And that was Guerrera. They needed that effort from Guerrera. But here he's taking the shot at the 10-man wide open goal, but it had not enough pace on it, and it's as good as a turnover.
Yeah, that's the kind of goal we saw with St. Joe's, Connecticut. Oh, it is a hard
Too
shot.
easy for BC High as they advance the ball down the field quickly, and putting it away was Murphy Belvin from about 5 feet out,
Having himself a
unchecked.
game. Boy, I tell you, that's the danger. You take that long pot shot at the open net with the 10-man ride, and guys are out of position. They're way far away from the heart of the defense, if you will, and
another
everybody
timeout.
gets kind of upside down on their defensive positioning.
And another timeout. It's the quickness, Rich. It's the quickness. They're just too quick.
So we go to the timeout here in the third quarter of play, and BG needs a comeback here at Stellos. Welcome back to Stellos Stadium, where it was a tale of a beatdown the last couple of quarters. BG just at a loss to score goals. I can't remember when that fourth goal was scored, but it feels like 2 quarters.
There was 4:21 remaining in the second, and it's been a 5-goal run since then.
All right, yeah, and a 10-4 BC High lead. A takeaway there for BG. Pass down the sideline, collected.
They've got to get some momentum. They need a goal very quickly.
And I keep saying that Owen King has been lost. He's going to Lemoyne.
And he had such a great game against Bedford last Thursday.
Talent. He's got the ball now.
Owen King has it, and he flips it up top.
Just good interior defense by BC High, because they're forcing, looks like they've done a heck of a knockdown drill leading up to this game.
Michael Ponto has it. Passes it across the field.
He's got room.
Hudson Schmidt, shot and a goal. No, a save.
That was a good save by Emsing. I was watching, very quick. He's 6'3" and kind of lanky, but he gets down really quickly to the turf.
Terrific save by TJ Emsing.
That's a good ride. But nobody home.
BC High picks it up in the offensive zone.
It's 3-on-4. They look like they're going to attack.
Emsing shot. Nick Emsing almost had number 4.
Every shot that BC High has taken, Feliciano is down on the ground.
Well,
it's
they're
a tester.
Making a move. I tell you, BC High is so aggressive-minded right now. They were 4-on-6, and they went after it.
You can't play this team from behind. You just can't.
Coming out from behind the net. Shot goal. The cutter was Luke Allen again. He has got great lacrosse IQ. The movement, the shooting accuracy. Luke Allen just seems impossible to contain. BC High's number 16.
3 goals in this period.
Well, you had the ex-Dodger from X rotating around counterclockwise, and what he did, Allen, was he mirrored his movement and then the heads were turning to a dangerous guy attacking the slot from below, and it was lights out. It was over.
Yep. Defense got distracted for a moment. Here comes Allen and scores.
And
BC High wins the
Ketchum
draw.
winning another face-off just when he needed it most.
Up top, BC High controlling with the lead by 7 and the ball.
I got to say, let's thank the Galvin family from BC High for the corrected roster.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Going to work, number 27 for.
That's good defense.
And they needed that turnover.
Big time lift check.
Yep.
40 seconds left in this period. You got to have this. I
Gotta
really
have
think
a goal.
so.
Yep, gotta have one.
Sean McGarry in the corner.
You know, I keep saying the big guys for BG need. Look at the trail check.
Oh, there's another loose
Christopher
ball.
Brown knocks it loose for BC High.
The trail
Whistle.
checks are killing them behind the net. They're killing them. They've got to be aware of it.
And here's what that one was. McGarry made a good move, but the butt end of his stick was slightly exposed, about 3 or 4 inches. And I keep saying how accurate the BC High checking is. That is just great preparation and repetition.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hits the other end of the stick to knock it loose.
Yep. Because McGarry had him beat.
Yeah. So on the restart, it's still BG ball.
20 seconds.
Desperately needing to score, but only having, that, as you said, 20 seconds left in the quarter to do it. Who's going to launch the shot? Nobody.
Nope.
So, yeah, they're man up right now.
Yeah.
And if they have possession, it'll be no face-off to start.
Patrick Geary, number 13 for BC High, got in the passing lane there.
1 second left. Somebody's got to shoot it. No, they're not going to get it on.
So what you do when you're man up, right? The guys in the box, who got the penalty there? It was
number 3.
Shivda.
Yep.
So if you have possession when you're man up and the end of the period occurs, there's no face-off.
No face-off.
So you get
to start with possession.
Oh.
That's huge.
But still, get the goal. Get the goal when you can. You're down 7.
Need a lot of goals.
You're down 7.
Yeah. So that is the end of the third period. We're going to go to the fourth. BG needs to go on a run here at Stellos.
You're watching Nashua ETV, your home for exciting local sports action. Whether you're at home or away, don't miss a moment of the big game. Check out our updated app, now also available for iPhone and Android. Just search for Nashua Community Media TV in your favorite app store. Follow your favorite local teams on Nashua ETV, bringing you closer to the action than ever before.
Welcome back to Stellos Stadium in Nashua. BC versus BG. Boston College High School in control of the scoreboard.
Boom.
Goal! No, off the side. I got
off the
fooled.
net.
The net
I got
flinched and
fooled.
everything off the side of the net. Yep.
We used to call that a mom goal. Uh-oh, they got
It
numbers.
is off the side of the net, and still 11-4. I guess I wanted to will it in for BG. We're getting tromped right now, and
Boy, that pass was low, or BG's down 12-4, and I don't know if you're not starting to warm up the bus at that point, but they've got to get 3 or 4 goals. Wow, good knockdown again.
They need a stretch. They need something to snap this momentum, and the momentum has been so far out. You know, they were shut out that quarter, guys. Shut out. When's the last time you saw BG shut out in a quarter?
right,
It's been a long time.
Exactly.
right.
Big, heavy check right there by Patrick Guertin.
At midfield, BG able to work it into the corner. Looking for another shot.
The 5-4 game turned into a rout because of a 5-0 run in the third quarter by BC High.
Owen King getting closer. Turns around, try to surprise whip around goal, and it was another save by TJ Emsing.
Yeah, and you know what? The Kings defender had his stick up high, which meant the shot had to come from low. Emsing diagnosed that from behind, and that's a good read by the goalie.
He was looking for it low, and
that's a good check right there.
No goal again for BG. Yeah, good trail check, and then got knocked down, and BC High teammate helps out.
Yep, that was a clean man ball right. Oh, look at the backside. Whoa.
The skill on display. Murphy Belvin with the catch and shoot down low. And again, no chance for the BG netminder, Jonah Feliciano. Murphy Belvin makes it a 12-4
BC High lead.
And he's got himself a Hattie now.
Not only do they have tremendous passing accuracy, but the creative way that they shoot these things. I mean, the catch and shoot is not just from where you caught it. It's he catches it, and then all of a sudden it's coming at you from his ankles.
Well, the Canadian influence and the box lacrosse influence, all the kids practice is now, and you have to have in your arsenal if you're going to take the next step up. It requires a little geek out, but you got to go.
And that is the thing that I, as a player, as a kid, I wished I could have seen all of the YouTube they have now. You said, they can watch all these talented players from all over the world.
Absolutely.
How they do it and copy it. BG trying to come out from the back of the net, and the shot is wide.
So that was a great look. They just need about 20 more of them in 6 minutes.
Rich, don't let him fool you. He was a second baseman in high school and college. He wasn't going to look at a lacrosse video on YouTube when he was in school. Don't let him even fool you.
I would have forced him to.
It's a different world, man.
He wouldn't have even looked at it.
I would have looked at how you.
No, you wouldn't.
Baseball.
A baseball video, maybe, but not a lacrosse
That's what
video.
I mean. Yeah, you're right.
I would have done it in a Bob Uecker voice for you. Huge trip right here.
BG looking for that elusive 5th goal. It's been a while since they tallied. Shot, goal!
Score. Wow.
Number
nice
2
shot.
for Bishop Guertin.
Yeah, that's Drew Redfern. Yeah, we figured that one out in the first half. Little roster glitch.
There we go. Drew Redfern with a nice shot.
That's his second.
Almost surprised that eluded TJ Emsing.
That's Redfern's second today.
He bounced it from about 20 yards out, and it managed to go up and over maybe the left shoulder of the BC High netminder. It is a 12-5 game.
He's a talented goalkeeper. The only thing I would, you could maybe diagnose is that when you get him moving, as long and lean as he is, he could be a little susceptible low, and that's exactly what happened on that one. So that's a good run out. What a hustle, but got to run it out.
BC High wins that fierce battle at the face-off, but not able to convert. Now BG has to come the distance
that
from their own end.
Ended a scoreless streak for BG of 19 minutes and 3 seconds.
Wow.
That is
you
rich.
may never see that again.
And you can't say, if you want to beat BCI, there's no way you can see it again.
They're lucky to hang on to that.
That shot deflected behind the goal. It was a save by Emsing, who came way out of his net. Whistle.
And that's Hunter Duwani.
That's a delayed call.
Duwani's a great athlete. He got concussed a couple weeks ago, and he's back in the lineup.
So the officials are going to get together about what this is. The flag is down near midfield. It was thrown by... Yeah, we'll see when they come over now. Rich McDonough's going to hang out the window to try to pick up the natural audio of this official's call as he makes his way over to pick up the flag.
I think it was a delay of game call. Best I could do
said a
on
legal
Galvin.
procedure. I was able to funnel that up here. Is that such a thing? Legal procedure?
Yeah, they do the same football motions.
They did,
and there are several different. Like, for example, if you throw a ball out of bounds, that's, a delay of game.
So they said 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's a technical foul, 30 seconds. And, it did go to Harrison Galvin.
22. In the box, kneeling down for 30.
And they got to get into it quickly. 30 isn't a long time.
BG's trying to set up a shot around the perimeter quickly.
Not at all. It goes
and
by
look,
fast.
So they've locked off behind. You see the?
Yep.
In the
There's
end
the
zone?
shot. Goal!
Bang. And I saw
a
this
sniper shot from the wing with great velocity on. That's number 14 for BG, Michael Ponto, the senior captain.
And I saw this the other day in the NESCAC final. Wesleyan has a great shooter named Ben Burns and a huge lefty. What they did is Tufts took them out behind, so they were playing essentially 5-on-4 on the inside. And the danger is, you take away a great shooter, but you leave acres of room in the heart of the defense, and that's exactly what BG saw. Nice way to exploit it by the coaching staff and players.
And so that is 2 quick goals in succession for BG, and they win possession. That was a chance for the goaltender to secure it, but it goes off his stick. And Nick Emsing has it again.
And you see how BG is really pressing out now?
Yeah.
They've got to create something.
They've got to create turnovers. They've got to.
Closing the distance between themselves and the offensive players.
There's Dunsmore, number 7. He's locked on. He's got the shorty, so.
Yeah.
And clearly, Allen's a really good goal scorer, so that's an interesting matchup.
Yeah, it is.
Comes out to near midfield. BC High controlling this game still. They're up 12-6 with only 7.5 minutes to go. Possession. Looking to add.
And here comes the slide. Finally, the second and third slides are coming for BG.
Yeah, good save there by Feliciano. It looked like it might have hit him even in the top of the mask, the top of the helmet, but made himself large in the net. Shot
for the cutter.
Another save by Feliciano. That was Murphy Belvin going for the score.
And that was a real good slide by Avery Whitehead to disrupt the approach by Luke Allen.
On the cutting motion. He got there quickly.
Was that Emsing in front with the try there? Oh no, it might have been 33 and 35 both up front for BC High.
Still, BG needs the ball back.
Belvin or Emsing? Belsing. How's that?
They've got to get possession because they don't have much time to score. They've got to get possession. There's under 7 minutes to play in this game.
And BC High stretching the field a little bit here with
BC
these
High they know that, right?
Yeah, they can just chew some clock. That's a big swat right there.
Enzo Serio dishes.
They're doing a great job of chewing it.
Tommy Ryan.
Now don't forget, in the college game you get a shot clock. So
right, you can get a stall warning in high school ball, but it's 3 to 4 minutes, and it's kind of liberally. Oh boy!
Yeah, jump shot, turnaround by Murphy Belvin,
and he just got north of a real good defender in JP Dunsmore, and once he had a yard or two on him,
created some space,
and everybody was real stretched out because of the press out, and they couldn't recover down in the crash area in mid zone. And I'll tell you what, Marcus Craigwell, he's now smiling on the sidelines, and tough on a coach, but he's happy with his performance today.
Well, they don't miss many shots, huh? They're right on net. You either have to save it or it's in the back of the net.
Yep. Tons of talent on this club.
13-6. BC High leading by 7 with under 7.
Yeah, we got another penalty.
I think we'll get a slash there. We might have a second one coming.
Yeah, Vasquez.
Yes, there's 2 flags on the field. 2 flags are on the field.
2 flags.
Well, what you want to do, though, is you want to back up your teammate as a ref and throw your flag as well. They have 2 flags in each pocket, I will tell you that.
Could be for the same foul is what you're saying.
Yes.
Why would you do that? He was right there when the play was called. So I haven't seen that in a while.
And it is the same and one and only call.
But from the referee in the booth, the guy who's been a ref, he knows it.
I'm starting to forget it.
Yeah. So I believe that was number 9 for BC High, Connor Malone, that got penalized.
Yeah, he's in the box for 1.
For 1 minute.
Yep. And for folks who don't know, if BG scores, let's say there are 50 seconds left in the penalty, the rest of the penalty is wiped out.
Okay.
Yep.
BG needs to shoot.
And you see
quickly.
they're locked off behind again. Yeah, they've taken Cam Hayden out of the lineup by just putting a man right on him.
Wide
and here
open.
comes.
That might have skimmed the crossbar.
He was wide open, but it took him a little time to settle it.
Yeah.
And to settle it in his basket, he wasn't quite ready to shoot it, and that cost him.
And then Koskinis was coming full bore at him.
that cost him. He had to do a one-timer like in hockey.
That was
There's the goal right there.
Side of the goal. Side of the goal.
Oh, another one. Jeez.
Yes.
That kills me from up here.
I'll just start calling it a Tom goal instead of a
Yeah,
mom
no
goal.
kidding. Right, exactly.
Uh-oh. They got numbers briefly.
Yes, they
Murphy
do. Right on
Belvin
top.
pass,
That
save.
is a magnificent save
Yeah,
by
it sure
Feliciano.
was.
And what BG needs
But
to
then
do
a tough
is,
outlet pass.
Right, but they need to turn that save into some momentum and do something with it. Ooh, there's a hit.
Oh,
Holy cow,
sandwich
Ponto
hit.
playing the miss. And
Ponto
we'll have
absorbing
unnecessary roughness or a high hit.
Loose ball.
We got a
picked up.
flag. I haven't
I
seen
think
it.
they ought to drop right here.
There is a
and
flag
get
right
on the
near the
man
ball
up as
carrier.
quickly as they can. They ought to just take a pot shot.
Another delayed call.
Exactly what you want to do.
And the whistle as the save is made by TJ Emsing.
There, I
Ball
see.
ricochets out of bounds.
There I see the flag over near the 35-yard line on the far side of the field.
Right. And that was due to the Ponto hits.
ref with a quiet voice.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
How about that, huh?
Number 18 getting
Hartarik.
Kyle Hartarik gets penalized for abusing Michael Ponto. I don't know what the exact call was. Maybe roughing?
Yeah, it was unnecessary roughness.
BG.
Well, it wouldn't have been that. Then it'd be locked in. Oh,
inside.
an opportunity here.
Yeah.
There's the slot.
Shot, goal.
Big,
Top left corner.
Big high heat from Huddy Schmidt.
Hudson Schmidt finds the opening up top, and it is a 6-goal game again, 13-7, with 4.5 minutes remaining. The time is on the side of BC High at this point.
Boy, they need, 4.5 minutes? I mean, I've seen it happen, but, as well as BC High is playing today. And
right, against this opponent, that's a lot of goals.
It's a ton. But you can get 3 in a couple minutes, and,
Well, they're on a roll.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. BC High gets the whistle. Timeout. As soon as they got it, BC High wanted to talk strategy about what they want to do with the final minutes remaining.
Yeah, what they want to do is not blow a 6-goal lead. Yep.
Yeah, we talking about the Celtics or?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
John Collins with Rich McDonough and Tom King. We'll be back to Stellos in a minute. Welcome back to Stellos Stadium in Nashua. A BG Lacrosse doubleheader. Boys, girls, inviting out-of-town opponents. BC High in control of the boys game right now, up 13-7, with 4:19 remaining in the fourth quarter. BC High working it around the field.
And showing a little bit of a matchup zone.
Yeah.
Nah.
Kind of a big cushion here for the BC High offense, and they're taking advantage as everybody's getting a touch all the way around the perimeter. Near side now, number 8 is Joe Leach. Leach dancing out top of the slot, passes it inside, almost over the head.
You just can't allow the pass to that position.
Wow.
Number 29 is Nathan Rogers, a freshman.
You've got to play defense.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Cannot allow that pass to get there.
You got a freshman styling on his goal in front of the net.
Hey.
14-7 BC High.
Way to go, young man.
That
I
is
mean,
impressive.
and you could see it from a mile away. Tom,
Is
you
that
were
a
over on that
backbreaker?
end of the
Is that what
field.
you
Right, I saw it.
That was a back. I'd call it a backbreaker because it would break my back.
As soon as he let the pass go, and as soon as he caught it, I said, "Uh-oh, watch out!" You're right there.
He had 6 feet of room on him.
Exactly. All that room. You got to clog that lane.
Well, you got to get topside of your potential pass catcher.
Right.
And he didn't.
But you also, I think, have to clog the lane to prevent the pass from even getting that close.
Well, they're pressed out right there once BC High went into its rhythm.
Yep.
And, they're trying to create something, but what you do is you create space.
I'll tell you what, as the season goes along, there's a shot and misses. Paulo Vazquez is going to win a lot of face-offs.
Well,
He's doing
his
it
job.
against the best in the business
Well,
right
that's
here.
his job.
Yeah.
In New Hampshire, he is the best in the business.
Well, he's going to play for the Retrievers down in my old Maryland stomping grounds for a reason. He's an All-American.
Yeah.
And, he'll do great things, and he's a physical beast.
He takes a lot of abuse in this game,
He
too.
sure
and
does.
No problem. He shrugs it off and wins the next draw. So credit to Paulo.
And look how packed in BC
Oh,
High is right now. Here goes Redfern.
Drew Redfern.
And look at the slide. No, he beats
Finds
the slide.
a way.
Nice job.
Goal!
Oh, nice job to move away from the
Redfern,
defender.
determined,
Yep.
gets the goal.
Well, I think the other part of that equation right there, fellas, was the slide came, the help, and he overcommitted on defense. Redford sensed that, took what he gave him, and then he left a lot of open space underneath him, and he just went to where, you say follow the slide if you're the off-ball player, but it applies if you're a ball carrier as well. Nice job.
What number? Was that 6? Who was that?
It was 2,
Red-
right?
Redfern.
Redford,
Drew
number
Redfern.
2. That's right.
Yeah.
That's his Hattie.
So Avery Whitehead, the senior, taking the draw against Paolo, and Paolo wins again.
He's strong. That's it. I mean, he's got he's a strong kid. That's what helps him.
So BG with a wealth of possessions here, but time getting short. 2:20 to go.
A wealth of possession and a paucity of clock.
That's true. You say paucity of goals too, because they have only 8-14 for BC High. Of course, that was a 19-minute stretch, as Tom documented, where they didn't score, and that's killer.
And they gave up 6.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if this will ring true, but in BG's other 2 losses, single-digit output.
Okay.
Yeah. And BC High continues with that good, solid defense.
And both out of state.
Correct.
Staples and
St. John's.
St. John's, yep. St. John's Prep.
End line. BG's Owen King around the net. Oh, passes it. Didn't think about the wraparound there. It was tight D being played by BC High. So again, Owen King has no room to operate. 2 double team. There's a penalty coming up because he got hit in the head.
I don't think they want to spend any time. Either call a timeout or just take a pot shot at the goal. You don't have time to waste. Get right into your man up.
Right.
Get right into the man up.
But you know what? I think they've already conceded it, and I think they're just working on stuff.
Yeah,
that's probable,
so that's
Tom.
going to cause a whistle here.
Right.
As BC High.
In fact, guys, I'm going to head down on to the field now, so I will see you for game number 2.
All right.
Moses Brown coming in here to play the BG girls.
Perennial power from Rhode Island, and the ubiquitous Tom King headed down to the turf.
Get some quotes. John Collins with Rich McDonough. Dylan Smith handling our camera today for both games, and our executive producer Pete Johnson alongside. So, man up situation for what remains in this game, perhaps. 1:08 to go, BG with possession.
They need 6 goals, and that means they need a goal every 10 seconds.
You must have went to a good school to do the math that quickly.
I have better odds on a scratch-off.
I know, right?
I think it was from bartending. I got pretty good at math.
Yeah,
on the fly.
Figuring out
all
the tabs. BG better get a shot away here. 50 seconds.
Just good discipline by every level of BC High players, no matter who's in the game.
Coming out of the corner with it. Owen King has it. Looking to shoot, looking to pass. He'll pass.
Well, Coach Craigwell said they're a real balanced team this year, and we're seeing it.
Cam Hayden, high slot. Hayden.
Big rip.
Save made by TJ Emsing.
That's
a beauty.
That is his signature save.
Just went down and read it. Blocks it. BC countering, and a nice save by Feliciano on a ripper in close.
Yeah, he did get a piece of that.
Nick Emsing let that one fly.
18 seconds left.
Always shocked when he shoots it and doesn't go in. He's tough.
Talented fella.
Yeah, 35.
He'll lock it up against his brother next year. And
no kidding.
Yeah, he's playing for Trinity. His brother's at Tufts. I forget whether Will is senior or not, but
do they just play once a year? Is that how they
once
do
a season, and then they might see each other in the NESCAC final. But
that will do it. A final of 14-8. BC High comes in and survives early momentum by Bishop Guertin. A 4-1 lead the Cardinals had at one point, but BC High, with their talent and skill, they made it ancient history pretty quickly. Went on that run of 6-0 in 19 minutes. They just blanked BG in the middle of that game.
But BG, Brian Cameron, his first year, he's no stranger to the sidelines. Obviously, he played here, played at Rutgers in North Carolina, and knows the fellas. They'll learn from this. They'll hit the game film.
Sure will.
And anytime you play a solid, high-level team, you have an opportunity to understand how to get better, and they will. They're a team to beat in New Hampshire.
Thank you for watching BG Boys Lacrosse here at Stellos.
Threatening.
And Guertin with the lead.
Titans point.
No. Hey, what a great crossing pattern. I tell you, finding himself all alone up the seam was Ryan Conley.
Shot and a goal. And the Titans are on the board.
Reckler. Oh, I tell you, she's a beast.
Up and running, and look at that. He's in there.
Shot, score! You can see it all setting up. You sure could. North sets it up, and a kill, a winner.
And here comes the Donna, all lined up. It's nothing but goal right there.
Oh my goodness.